What the Fred Zalinger is happening at Kings Park? 2 weeks ago, Captain Bismarck du Plessis got a 4-game suspension for trying to kickstart Michael Leach. And on Saturday, it was some knee action to a Crusaders cranium that saw Jean Dazel sent off the field. To make matters worse, the Sharks, who headed into round 8 as South Africa's flag bearers, found a way to concede 52 points against a Crusaders side that was reduced to 12 players at one stage. I'm Zelim now with Tank Lanning, and this is Think Tank powered by Vodacom. Tank, what's going on in Dubs?
Yeah, it's a car crash in slow motion.
Sure.
It is really, really untidy. You know, and it's easy to be glib, but I think if one just digs a little bit deeper, you know, let's have a look at what's happened there. So, Plumtree, dispatched. White, dispatched. Gold, looking untidy.
Yeah.
So the CEO resigns. In comes John Smith, is probably still a player, you know, 37, 38 years old, doing the epic during the...
Keen cyclist.
Yeah, very keen cyclist. You know, so, and then you look at the red cards. Frans Stein's always been a bit of a problem child. You know, you've mentioned a lot on the show that eyes on the World Cup, but I mean, I think this is eyes on overseas contracts.
Spot on.
You know, and so these guys are looking after their bodies perhaps because they've got big money to be made after the World Cup. So I think, and Gold's being completely disillusional if he thinks there's no disciplinary problem. I mean, there is a proper issue there.
Yeah.
So I think they've got some real issues there, like proper issues that are going to need like time to resolve.
Yeah. So, Tank, maybe some of those disciplinary issues are related to quite a young and inexperienced management team. You've got Mike Horak, you've got Paul Anthony, Brad McLeod Henderson was coaching high school rugby a few years ago. Is that maybe, you know, maybe this management team isn't in a position to really tell people like Bismarck and Frans Steyn what to do?
Yeah, look, it's certainly an option, and it might be an influencing factor, but you'd think that experienced players like Bismarck, like Steyn, would actually stand up in these situations. And I think on Saturday, you know, certainly with Dazel, he was one of the players that took the no-arm tackle earlier on, and the Crusaders were certainly up for it. I mean, they were no angels. But they seemed to just do it in a slightly different way, and I think they reacted, as did Bismarck. He reacted. I mean, the tip tackle is... You know, it's also a mind thing. So they look a little bit spiteful, but 100%. You know, it could well be because of an inexperienced management team.
And how do you lose against a team that's 3 men down? I mean, how does that happen?
Astonishing. You know, it was 12 versus 14, and they still got a chip, collect, try.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost impossible. So, you know, talking off air, you start looking at a couple of the numbers that are coming up on the stats app, and you see the tackle success ratio and the amount of tackles being missed. 160 tackles the Sharks have missed, and a success ratio of less than 85%, which is 15th out of 15. So they've got some real defensive issues.
Yeah, that's 20 missed tackles a game, and against teams like the Crusaders who know exactly what to do with that kind of opportunity. That's deadly.
And you know, we did see the Crusaders at their very, very best. And there aren't many sides in the world that can live with that. But you know, for me, the big issue here is that, you know, South Africans just can't attack like the Kiwi sides do. Right. And what's happened, I think, this year is that we've now also lost our steely defence. I mean, even the Stormers, they used to be called the Wall of Cape Town. You know, they're now getting their tackle success ratio is dropping. They're missing easy tackles. So I think, you know, so now without the attacking edge and missing a sort of steely defence, it's big problems.
Right. Are the Lions as good as they appear to be, or is just everybody else taking a step back? I mean, are the Lions really top of SA conference material?
You know, I take a lot of heat on Twitter because I never blimmin' back the guys. But, you know, my heart of hearts wants to say, nah, these are the guys. But realistically, I think, you know, the likes of the Sharks, Bulls, Stormers have kind of come down a level or two. I think what the Lions have achieved is nothing short of unbelievable, and they deserve the credit that comes their way.
Yeah.
But you know, I just don't see them living with the Chiefs or with the Crusaders at their peak. You know, they're also going to take sort of 20, 30 points.
Do they not maybe have enough though to win the SA conference? Because it doesn't matter whether you beat the Chiefs or Islanders in that ratio.
Yeah, and then what does that get you? Although, you know, I mean, the horrific sort of log permutations that they have, you know, we almost get a consolation third place. So that, you know, the first place in the conference obviously is important, but you're still traveling on that, you know, on that second game. So realistically, you've got to get top 2.
Yeah, but it's really, I mean, it's quite scary. I mean, it's World Cup year, and the Hurricanes have almost got as many wins as our top 2 teams in Super Rugby after 7 matches for them. That doesn't bode well for the future.
Yeah, I mean, I seriously see these as very dark days for South Africa. Look, the reality is that if in 6 months' time we've won the World Cup, no one's going to remember Super Rugby 2015. So perhaps we will be looking back and not remembering this trauma that we're going through. But it really is trauma. I just think, it's eyes on a different prize, and we've got some issues.
Yeah. That's it for this week, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in to Think Tank. Be sure to check out vodacom.co/rugby. We'll see you next time. Ciao.